Let me clear my throat. Yeah. Welcome to the Arsenal show. We are live. Thank you very much for joining us, people. North London derby. Get in there. Glenn Cook, where are you? What did you say? Forget about the head. It's all about the heart. Yes. Come on, Arsenal. 3-1 victory. We done it. All right. It's not... Before anyone starts saying, stop getting carried away, all of this jargon, just enjoy it, yeah? This is a North London derby, and it's different to any other game, people, yeah? So anyone that wants to try and bring you back down to earth, don't let them do it until you've absolutely rinsed every single Tottenham fan you know for at least a day. For one day. Just give it one day, yeah? We're not trolling. It's just part of it. This is part of the connection that we have together. So, yeah, people. Don't let people bring you back down to earth yet. Enjoy the win. All right? Who we got there? Glenn Cook. There you are, Glenn. There's my boy, Glenn Cook. What did I tell you guys? No, Glenn, not you guys. Me and you were together. All right? Me and you were together. Yes, Glenn. Yes. All right. Before I carry on, I've got my two guests with me. Steve K, how you doing?
How you doing, Kieran? It is an absolute pleasure to be here today. And you're right, I am going to enjoy this. I have already been on WhatsApp. I have written one message and I have sent it to about 20 Tottenham supporters. I'm sorry for you Tottenham supporters that are watching, but like Kieran says, you know how it is. You'd be doing the same.
Exactly the same.
Yeah.
We've got to embrace it. We've got to enjoy it. Jerome, how are you feeling? And not just, look, before we get on to anything else, yeah, Jerome's boy smashed it today. Yeah. Emil Smith Rowe. Look, they're not related, but there's a connection between Jerome and Emil Smith Rowe that no one else has in this world. How proud are you of this moment?
Oh, brilliant. Amazing. Did you see the tweet that he wrote?
No, I didn't see it.
Oh, his tweet. Now, this tweet, it is a perfect tweet. There's a lot of, obviously, rubbish written on Twitter. A lot of people tweet silly things. His tweet, it was, "This is the best day of my life."
Brilliant.
Quality.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And that, do you know what that says? That says so much, but so little to everyone else. But if you're an Arsenal fan, you'll understand it because he's an Arsenal fan.
Yeah, but you got to say that in that London accent. His London accent, Smith Rowe's London accent. That's how you got to say it like that, Jerome. You got to say it like.
He's an Arsenal fan, and right now he's on top of the world. He's absolutely flying. Before I go to the player ratings, which is what we're all here for. Yeah. I'm going to go to the comment section. Hold on. There we go. Boom. All right, comment section, what you're saying. Who else we've got in there? We've got Garth in here today again. Thank you very much. And you're not. I mean, you're not. It wouldn't be an Arsenal podcast without little Jackie Grealish in the corner and the longest name of all time. Thank you very much for being there again. Garth Lewis, of course, a good friend of mine. And Hale End Boys, Shaw Bright today. Excellent first half, love it. Facebook user, I'm going to jump onto Facebook and find out who you are. But thank you very much.
I think that's John, old friend of mine, John from old school days. If that's you, John, give us a thumbs up. If you are,
go. Thank you very much.
Thanks for being here, mate, today.
That's it. That's what we like to hear. But Steve, give us your breakdown of the game. How are you feeling about it? What it means right now? How are you feeling overall as an Arsenal fan?
Like, nothing's going to make any sense out of what I'm going to say now. Absolutely nothing. It's all going to go. My way I sit down and I give this knowledgeable, rundown on how things are. It's just I tell you people now, it's just going to go flying out the window. So just excuse me, right? We absolutely smashed them today. We played them at the park. When I see that team, I tell you what. Now I tell you what. If we're not going to keep this side out for the this 11 out for the season. But I tell you what, if we could, this side could do something, could seriously do something. From the first 2 minutes, I was looking down the list. I see the 11. I thought, wow, if we could keep this side, and you know, with Arsenal, we've watched Arsenal long enough now. We know in that first minutes whether we're going to be on it or we're just going to have 90 minutes of hell and sitting back in their armchairs. But they were fantastic today. From 1 to 11, everybody was they was on it, and they never give Tottenham a look in. And all I can say is that I'm just really proud of them today. I mean, we'll talk about more in the ratings, but yeah, just really proud of them today. I ain't said that for a long while. Not said it for a long while.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong, Steve. It was Johnny. It's your good friend. Jerome. How are you feeling right now? What's the feeling going around at the moment for you?
Oh man, I'm knackered. I'm knackered. When you after like a game like that, you sort of kick every ball, don't you? You're like so involved in the game. I feel like I've played it myself. Honestly, I'm like sweating, I'm hot, but so obviously super happy. And I was watching like parts of the second half before they scored, and I sort of had my feet up, like I was relaxed for a little bit of it. It was quite a nice feeling.
But it was still with 10 minutes to go. It was still nerve-wracking. For me, my stomach was still churning with 10 minutes to go. It's like, look, we're not going to throw this away, but we could. So please stop messing around. Like, oh my God. And then they scored. But we'll get onto the details in a bit. But overall, you're pleased, yeah?
Oh, amazing. Yeah, amazing.
Very,
honestly,
very
scoring goals against them, it's the cheers are louder than against any other team, aren't they?
There is. I'm giddy, mate. I'm giddy. I'm happy right now.
I'm very giddy.
Now. No one can bring me back down. Big up the lads. Thank you very much. You're not one of my favourites. All right. Let's get on to the player ratings. All right. They all get 10s. Thank you very much. And good night, people. Thanks for joining us. Peace out. Stay safe and wash your hands. All right. This man. Can I just say one little piece of this man? Yeah. There were rumours going out around that they were going to. Mikel Arteta was going to bring back Bernd Leno back into the game. To the happiness of us all when we saw Leno in the starting lineup on Wednesday's game. It was a joy to behold because we knew that this man would be in goal. Because since he's coming, he's been an absolute colossus. He's been excellent in goal so far. Before this game, he kept three clean sheets. He brings a different style of goalkeeping to what we have under Leno. This is not putting down Leno of any sorts in any way, shape, or form because it's small margins and little things that make preference to goalkeepers because of what they do. Ramsdale's footwork and the pace that he moves the ball at is the reason why he's doing so well and he's staying in goal over Leno. But what else he brings to the team is this togetherness. He brings this sort of unity amongst the defence where saving a shot and putting a tackle is like scoring a goal. And if we can keep building that, oh my word, I'm pleased. People talk about his mistakes. People talk about mistakes he's going to make, yeah? He's 22. He's 22, isn't he? 22. He's a pup. He's a pup as a goalkeeper. That's nothing. He'll make mistakes, but he'll learn from them as well because he's got a good head on his shoulders. Aaron Ramsdale, brilliant. And to all them trolls out there who decided to go out their way to at him on Twitter and Instagram, I hope you've buried your head in the sand and looking at yourself in shame. Embarrassing. But on another note, Ramsdale, brilliant. What rating are you giving him? Steve, you can start.
Yeah, I mean, he dealt with everything that was thrown of him from minute one. And in the second half, he started to bring off some good saves when Spurs started to push forward a little bit. He's that. You know, for someone, I think you've already said it, but for someone so young, and remember this was his first North London derby.
Yeah.
And he's 22 years old. he was making saves. He was taking balls, from corners, catching them. He was assured. He was fantastic today. And when he was called for, the goal that he couldn't do nothing about that. He was not a fault of that. He even got a hand to it. So I'm not blaming him for that at all. So Ramsdale today, for me, he gets it's difficult today because there were so many fantastic supporters, but so I've got to be careful with my ratings because of the other ones to come. So I'm gonna give Ramsdale an 8.
Yes. Okay. Go on, Jerome. Go on, Jerome.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. An 8. His he plays like he's an Arsenal fan. It's like he's been brought up and he's always been an Arsenal fan all his life, and it's his dream to play for Arsenal. And obviously that's not the case, but that's how he plays. His attitude is amazing, and he that save near the end when he tipped it onto the bar, top draw. I think for him to get dropped, he's got to have about 25 bad games in a row. He's got to have 25 stinkers in a row before he gets dropped, I think, because he's just come in and he's surpassed everyone's expectations. People didn't think he was a okay goalie. People thought he was a poor goalie by the reaction on Twitter. Obviously, it goes to show you that a lot of people don't know what they're talking about, including the, some maybe pundits and journalists and people in the know. Honestly, like Steve said, for a young goalie in his first London derby, like a proper like pressurised game with the atmosphere. Excellent, yeah. An 8. And he, honestly, I can't remember what goal it was when he gave the pass to Xhaka, and it was sort of a bad pass, and Xhaka sort of got him out of a bit of trouble there.
Yeah.
But apart from that, you can't fault him. Excellent.
Yeah, and as you said earlier, that save, because look, we get worried about these situations for a reason, because it does the cliche is there for good. It only takes a second to score a goal. Yeah. And once they score that goal, they've already scored it. If that goes to 3-2 and he doesn't make that save, that next 5 minutes is pressurized. And we've seen what can happen. We've seen games where it's 3-0, 2-0, and with 5 minutes to go, the team's either drawn or lost. We don't want to be that team. We don't want to be there. So those saves are vital. People can't think that, it was 3-1. It didn't make any difference. It made a difference, people. It made a difference. Great save. And even the save, it still looked like it was going in. Brilliant. 8. I agree. Personally, I'm giving everyone a 10. So it don't matter what you guys say. Ramsdale, you get a 10 from me. All right. And I know Glenn's with me as well. Next up. Who we got? We've got Tomiyasu. The Mount Kilimanjaro. It's not even Mount Kilimanjaro. It's that's in Africa. There's another one. What's the Japanese one? I'll find it in a minute. Go on. We'll start with Jerome. Jerome, you go with Tomiyasu.
Oh, he's close to a 10, isn't he, Tomiyasu? He gets a 9 from me. I saw something before that we said before he came that from the clips of him, he was a proper a defensive. A very good defender in terms of a right back, and he's yet to be dribbled past so far this season. He was playing against. I know Kane gets all the plaudits, but probably their most dangerous player, Son, on his side.
Son didn't play today. Son didn't
he wasn't there, was he?
So what? Son weren't there. So I swear, Son weren't there.
I see his head just out of Tomiyasu's pocket somewhere in the second half, just popping out. Like that.
I'll tell you how you can judge how well he played today is when Son normally plays against us and you've got either Bellerin, Chambers, Cedric at right back, you feel a bit worried, don't you? But when Son picks up the ball and he's got Tomiyasu in front of him, I felt quite comfortable. I didn't feel like, he's in danger here, Tomiyasu. He could get done here. He was amazing. And also, what I noticed is his engine. Maybe compared to Tierney. I know Tierney obviously gives it his all as well, but he was bombing up and down the wing like the whole game. It's not as if he gets Tierney gets a bit tired after maybe 70 minutes, doesn't he? You can tell he stops overlapping, whereas Tomiyasu looked like he could, do another 20 minutes. He went for the whole game. Mate, you got to give credit to the guys that have spotted these players, and it was their decision to sign them, because so far both Ramsdale and Tomiyasu have been amazing. I think on everything in the air, Tomiyasu, and I think I saw he had the most touches of an Arsenal player today as well. Tomiyasu.
Yeah, I mean,
brilliant game.
Yeah, £19 million from Bologna. Yeah, he's been absolutely outstanding so far. Steve, Tomiyasu, what are you giving him?
He gets a 9 for me. Really pleased that Jerome gave a 9 as well. I mean, he drove every single Tottenham player on his left-hand side. Is it his left? Yeah, left-hand side. Absolutely crazy. No, right, isn't it? Sorry, right-hand side. His right-hand side. He drove them up the wall. He was like a Jack Russell nipping round every single one of them Tottenham players' legs. He drove them mad. He drove them mad. He was like one of them bunnies that you see, and you know, with the Duracell battery advert, and he's going mad like that, and you just can't stop him. And he's like, you're going to slow in a minute, but he don't stop. He's got an incredible engine.
Yeah.
And he's defensive, and he can defend, and I love that. You know me, he defended fantastically today. And in the second half, he thought, I've done my defending in the first half. I'm going to start getting forward and causing problems, and they did. And he started getting forward, and he started getting forward, and he started getting forward, and he was causing just as many problems at forward, and he still had the engine to get back. He was very close to a 10 for me, very close. But I give him a 9.
Yeah, he was brilliant today. I can't disagree with you both. Yeah, like, as you said earlier, Son had that one. I don't even know if he had a chance. I just remember him trying to get onto his right early doors. Other than that, I didn't see him the whole game, and I don't think I've ever seen a game with Arsenal versus Tottenham where I've not seen Son or not thought of Son as a danger. Never have I seen that. He was absolutely a defensive masterclass from Tomiyasu. Son was not in the game at all, and usually he thrives against us. Not even sure if Son got a shot off in that game. Brilliant. Tomiyasu 9. Cannot disagree with you. There we go. Tomiyasu gets a 9. Ben White. Steve, you can start this one. What does Ben White get today?
Ben White, I mean, Kane didn't do nothing, did he? I mean, he was quiet. I think he had one shot, and apart from that, he wasn't, again, like Son, he wasn't in the game. He was safe. He's strong in the tackle. He's so strong in the tackle. And he's another one by these. I don't know what these pundits are. I don't know if they're getting this little bit jealous that Arsenal starting to get these players, and they don't like it, because he was another one that was getting put down, only a couple of weeks ago. But again, a fantastic performance today. Like Ramsdale, like Tomiyasu, his first North London derby, and you could see that that he really won it, and he went out there and he did the same in the second half. Just safe, very disciplined, and he had a good game. He wasn't as high as someone else that I'm going to give. So Ben White just did his job, and he did the job perfectly. But I'm giving Ben White a 7.
Okay, Jerome, what are you giving Ben White?
I'll give him an 8 because I think mine and Steve's scores are going to be very similar. This evening, Ben White, I think today he done a lovely sliding tackle in the first half on Son.
I was just about to bring that one up.
Yeah,
I was just about.
That was quality, wasn't it? Yeah. I wasn't sure if he was going to get there. I think today his reading of the game seemed really good. His positioning, I think, and his range of passing was very good as well. I don't know if he missed a pass. I think Ben White's going to be one of these players for Arsenal. Maybe a little bit like Gilberto. I think he's going to go a little bit unnoticed. He's not like a typical centre-back that's going to dominate and be strong and physical. But everything he does is class. And I think that's going to be a theme of this season, that he won't really get the limelight. He won't get many man of the match awards or stand out a lot. But I think you'll notice him because there won't be a lot of don't want to jinx it. I don't think he'll make a lot of like silly mistakes on the ball or get caught. He's class, and to come in with a brand new goalie, a brand new right back, a brand new. He's playing with obviously all these players are playing like for the first time together. It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was quality, and I think one of the reasons why he was quality is you don't really notice him that much.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
with
no,
that,
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean. I think he'll be noticed a bit more because he's got his range of passing is very good, and I think that as he gets more comfortable as an Arsenal player, I think you're going to see a lot more of his passing, and I think that's what's going to make him stand out. But other than that, I think.
Sorry, I'll tell you what it is. I think because his passing, they're not going to be passes that set up goals. They're going to be passes that just maybe spray it to the wing or get us out of a bit of trouble, or we look like we're in trouble, and he'll play it to a centre midfielder. So they're not like these eye-catching passes that lead to like a goal. That's why I think he'll go a bit unnoticed, because it will be more in the general build-up rather than right at the other end of the pitch.
No, I agree. I agree to a certain aspect, especially when you've got someone like Gabriel next to him who dominates over players, who relishes that battle in a game where someone wants to try and bully him, he's that kind of person like, bring it. This is what I dream of. Like, and he wants to get that header, and he wants to leave an elbow in your back, and when he wants to challenge, he wants to absolutely clatter someone. That's Gabriel, and I think people will notice that more than Ben White. So I agree. But the reason why I've given him an 8 is because Steve gave him a 7, Jerome gave him an 8, and I've given him a 10. So as I said before, everyone's getting a 10. So whatever rating it is, it's being dragged up. All right. So with Glenn, there we go. No, Jerome. Stop using your head and speak your heart. They're all 10s. Thank you very much, Glenn. Thank you very much. All right. Brilliant. Next up, we've got Gabriel. Steve, Gabriel, go on. You go first.
I tell you what, about 8 years ago, right? Yeah, no lie, I spotted Virgil van Dijk when he was a kid, right? And he kept moving to club, and I kept saying, why aren't you buying Arsenal? Why ain't you buying him? Why ain't you buying him, Arsenal? He was going to the Southamptons, to the Celtics. I'm watching this guy and I'm thinking this guy's going to be the next best centre back in the world. He ended up going to Liverpool, ended up being the best world centre back in the world. Gabriel will be the next Virgil van Dijk. This. No, I'm telling you.
I'll back you. I'll stand next to you, Steve. Don't worry about that. I just got to add a little bit of suspense to this.
Yeah, he has got everything you want for a central defender. Absolutely everything. He never gets beat in the air. He never gets beaten in a tackle. He can get forward and score a goal, just like Virgil van Dijk can do. The guy is he's unbelievable. He's fantastic, and I can't believe I was actually a bit worried about him, whether he would be right for Arsenal. But today, he was just immense. And, with him, in our central defence every game, we ain't going to let too many goals in. And I gave Gabriel today a 9.
I think that's a fair result there. Jerome, Gabriel. You're muted.
Before I come on to that, I think that might have been my uncle that commented, Warren. So if it is, hello. Gabriel. I'll give him an 8 as well to go with Ben White. I don't think Kane likes playing against him, does he?
No, he doesn't.
He can't seem to get the better of him. So quick along the ground as well. Yeah, Steve's right. He's got everything, and I think we might have said this last week. When he's on his game, Gabriel, he's top draw. I was speaking to some of my mates during the game, and they were saying he looks like he sort of matured a bit compared to last season.
Oh, yes.
Yes. And you know, if we see that Gabriel every week, that's good enough for me, definitely.
Yeah. I agree with what your mates were saying with regards to him maturing. But if you look at his previous where the clubs that he was at, it seems like it's taken him a season to settle in. And if he's given the opportunity after that, then he does well. I think Gabriel's immense. Every game I've seen him so far since he's been back, he's just been a bully in training. He's bullying people, and he takes that same attitude onto the pitch. I think it's been excellent.
Yeah, one more thing to add, if it's okay, is that last season, Mikel Arteta seemed to sort of switch Gabriel and Mari a lot. He played Gabriel one week, Pablo Mari the next. I don't think we're going to see that this season. I think it's very much the case that Gabriel was the first choice left centre back, and Mari will play when Gabriel gets injured, and that'll be it. Yeah,
and I think that'll be the same case for the rest of the defenders, the back five. And I think that's how it should be. The back five, you generally don't change unless you have to. Again, carrying on with the same mantra as I went before, he gets a 9. He's getting the highest rating there. Kieran Tierney. Jerome, you can start with this one.
Tierney. Not his best. Yeah. But who was he even up against? They don't really play with a out-and-out right winger, Spurs, do they? Like Mora was there and he came inside a lot. Both their right backs were useless. So he didn't really have to do much. I'm glad we signed out that Tommy Asu instead of the other right back they brought in the second half, the Emerson Royale.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they had obviously Tanganga in the first half.
Yeah, that's just his place Spurs.
Yeah. He was fine. He was fine, Tierney. Did what he had to do. 7 seems a bit low, doesn't it? 7 seems like a really low score.
Only on the back of this. Only on the back of this. But I think any normal other game he may have got a 6. But he didn't have a bad game. He didn't
have a bad game at all.
The ball just didn't. I just feel like he wasn't that much needed. Like
you know what? Silly. I'll tell you what. We'll come on to Saka, but when it's on the right, I think that when Saka plays on the right, that's where I think a lot of our moves come from. And Tierney maybe doesn't get involved as much, but defensively was no issues at all defensively.
Yeah,
he does tire, doesn't he, towards the end of games, Tierney?
It's because he
puts it all in, doesn't he? He puts it all into it.
He's the Scottish Oleg Lusny. He's just non-stop. He's up and down, up and down, up and down. So it's going to get to a point where he is going to tire out a little bit. But we expect such high standards of Kieran Tierney and bombing up and down and being an attacking threat as well, which is why you're probably thinking it's a low one today. But again, you've got to remember, first and foremost, he's a defender and he did his job there. So, yeah. Steve, what are you giving Kieran Tierney?
I love Kieran Tierney's performance today. Mm-hmm. I thought he was top draw, and it wasn't for his going forward.
It's defensive.
It was very disciplined, defensive, and the way he was playing as just a normal straight back, left back. And I was watching him, and he was getting his foot in, and he was getting his headers in, and he was very disciplined. And it did seem like that he was doing more defending than he was going forward. Because again, it was one of those type of games where, but I've said for quite a long while now that I've wanted Tierney's defensive performances to be better than what I've seen. So I always make a specific note of when I'm watching Tierney to see how he performs defensively. Now, he was up against top draw players today, top international players, and I thought he was fantastic. I thought he was top draw, and what pleased me was that it showed me that Kieran Tierney can defend as good as any left back on his day when he wants to. Yep. And if he's not going forward, he's still he can be a great defender. Mm-hmm. And that pleased me and that happy me. And because of that, I gave him an 8.
Yep, and I will agree there, Steve. As I said, defensively, we've got to remember he's a defender. And he had a good game defensively today. Kieran Tierney gets an 8. Central midfielders. Let's start with Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey. We'll start with you, Jerome.
Oh, so this was our star man, wasn't he? Partey. First half, he was incredible. Amazing. Yeah. What a performance in the first half. Just absolutely everywhere. That ball he did to Aubameyang, I think late on in the first half, when I think Aubameyang took a bit of a poor touch, he switched it from right to left.
Yes.
You could see the pass was on it. Everyone was probably shouting at the screen.
It was almost as if Aubameyang didn't believe it was going to come through perfectly, and he just sort of stopped a little bit, which then took it off his toe, because it was not a bad touch for Aubameyang. It's just that he wasn't following his stride as well at the same time. So great ball.
But his movement to get, like, when he drops the shoulder, he collects it on like his back foot and then moves away from the opposite player. Quality. It's very enjoyable to watch. He's one of those players that it just looks good on the eye, and it's like you pay money to watch
goal,
him.
didn't he? He so wanted.
Yeah, he had a couple of shots, and he had one. The one in the first half when he hit it with the inside of his foot.
Yeah.
But it's coming. I'll tell you, it's coming.
And it'll be a belter as well.
Yeah.
Probably a tap-in.
So what?
Keep taking it always away, isn't it?
Yeah. What are you giving him, Jerome?
I've got to give him a score, haven't I? I'll give him an 8.
All right. Steve, what are you giving Thomas Partey?
Well, like in the preview, I said that I was desperate to give him a 7 or an 8, but I didn't give him a 7 or an 8. He gets a 9 from me today.
I guess a 9.
Just like Jerome said, I've got written down here 9 Partey, first half, absolutely fantastic. Owned the midfield. He owned it.
They didn't want to go near us today.
It was his. It was Thomas Partey's midfield, right? I had a DM saying, Partey played well today. Yeah, as if I don't want him to play well or something. Some donuts. The twats. The idiots. That's what you get. They're so thick, some people. Sorry, I had to bring that out because there's such a donuts that some people think. I say things because I want Arsenal to be a better team. And when he gets a 9, I say he gets a 9. He deserves it. He was awesome today. He was, like I've already said, he owned that midfield, and then in the second half he was disciplined. Excellent performance. He was getting his shots in. He was on it. I mean, like chalk and cheese from the last time he played against Tottenham till this time. I mean, if he was a 4 then, he's 9. He was a definite 9 for me for today. Great performance from Thomas Partey. Keep it up, mate.
Yeah, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Tottenham didn't even want to go near that midfielders. They didn't want to go near our 2 midfielders. They kept the ball away from them. And in that first half, it was to their detriment. I don't know how our boys would have reacted if they did try it. They probably would have eaten them alive, because everyone had that fire in their belly today from the get-go. But I agree. I thought Thomas Partey was absolutely brilliant today. Probably one of the best performances I've seen in an Arsenal shirt. And it's starting to... I'm starting to see some consistency with Partey. He's starting to become a player that when he's there, he's making a difference. Although it may not seem obvious, because you've got other players in the team like Saka, like Odegaard, like Tierney, like Smith Rowe and Aubameyang, but Partey's still making he's still making it known that he's going to be an important figure in this team. And I think hopefully by the end of the season, he's going to be one of our better players consistently going forward. So yeah, Thomas Partey, top performance today in such an important game for us as well, and may it continue. Granit Xhaka back straight in the team. and he let himself known to the Tottenham player straight away. Steve, what are you giving Granit Xhaka?
The gladiator, the absolute gladiator. The guy when he's not making mess ups, which he does from time to time. Gary Neville got it right. He said he is either a 10 or a 9 when he plays, or a 3. That's what you get with Granit Xhaka. Today he was close to that, being at the top end. I thought he was strong today. He gives Arsenal that presence, yeah. And you hear Arsenal fans say, "Oh, he's rushing a tackle. He hits people and he makes fouls." Look, that's what we want. This is football. You've got to have that player in the middle of the park that's going to go up to the main midfield player and go crash, hits you right up in the air. You know, you need that. You have to have that. You can't be walked over. You can't be a walkover. You have to have a Granit Xhaka in the middle of your park on form when he's playing well. He starts every game, right? And he was fantastic today. And he, as you say, certainly made himself known to the Tottenham players. He got dragged off at the end. Injured, and you know, just hope he's okay. But I mean, if Partey and Xhaka can perform like that every week, that's the partnership. It has to be. You can't not. You know, you can't break that up. That's what I feel going forward. But you know, he gives that Arsenal that bit of nastiness, doesn't he?
Yeah.
You know, and I think you've got to have that nastiness. Some Arsenal fans are a little bit wokey these days, and he tackles too much, or he gets sent off too much. You know, God, what's the matter with them? You know, they should. They've never played football before. You know, how many times we played Sunday football? You need that one player.
That geezer just clatters someone straight away.
Clatter you right in the
Leave one on him.
That's it, and he's that man. If you get better, if someone better than Granit Xhaka comes along in the future, then you know. But at the moment, he starts for me. Today, I didn't think I thought he was a little bit under Thomas Partey, so I give Xhaka an 8.
All right. Yeah, I don't know how he didn't get a yellow card. I don't know how he come out of the game without a yellow card. It's madness. Because after that first one...
That's what you want. That's what you want.
No, it wasn't that, yeah. It wasn't that. I turned around to my old man, yeah, because we're jumping all over the living room going crazy, loving it, yeah. But there was the third one on I can't remember who it was, just insignificant, don't even matter. And he absolutely clattered him. And I was like, it's got to be a red card. My old man's like, it's never a yellow card. It's never a yellow card, that one. It's never a yellow. I was like, but Dad, the two previous, they're yellow cards. They're yellow cards. He's like, no, that's not like midfield. I said, yeah, but the two previous, Dad, they should be yellow cards. Then the third makes it a definite yellow card. I don't know how he did it, but he done it, yeah.
Kieran.
I don't really care.
Your dad's old school, like me. Like he wants to see someone in the Arsenal midfield who's gonna. If one of our players who's a little bit, you know, finicky and you know can't handle themselves when it comes to standing up, you want someone to go up to him and like bang, and he's that man. Vieira did that.
There ain't no one. He's sitting next to Thomas Partey. I think Thomas Partey can handle himself. Jerome, what are you giving Granit Xhaka?
Yeah, I'll agree with Steve and give him an 8. The third one, are you talking about when he grabbed the geezer by the neck and sort of? Is that the one?
Yeah. I was like,
that's what you want. Come here, you. Get out of here.
I don't know how it's not yellow. I'm not really fussed, but I don't know how he got away with it. But yeah, he got away with it.
Yeah, it does look like he's picked up quite a bad injury. That could be be quite a long time out. Yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah. He had a very good game today, Xhaka. I'm not his biggest fan, but he was very good today. Some lovely passing as well. Very crisp with his passing.
Yeah, very crisp.
He had a good game, Xhaka.
Yeah, no, Xhaka today. That's the one. That's one thing you get with Xhaka, which is why I think he gets the respect from a lot of the footballing world. Is the fact that them passes, he cuts through like 2 or 3 players with them passes. He doesn't. Yes, people will say he drops a 9-yard ball and a 2-yard ball and a 5-yard ball, but he also drops a ball that just cuts through 3 or 4 players. And when you've got someone that can do that, a bit like what Thomas Partey was doing today, when you've got 2 players in your midfielders that are doing that and are comfortable at doing that, then it wipes out the whole team. It wipes out Tottenham team. They can't do nothing because the ball will always move faster than the player. And when you've got players like Xhaka and Partey that are comfortable in passing it past 3 or 4 players into dangerous areas, then, yeah, brilliant. Both of them today, absolutely brilliant. And this is the reason why the Tottenham midfield probably looked at those 2 and went, nah, not today. Not for me.
Exactly,
Not today. And then when Xhaka puts that first stomping challenge in where he's like just gone in just like that. It's just like that. It's like they were like, no, definitely don't want none of this today. He's
basically, he looks and goes, what?
He's too pumped.
What?
Martin Odegaard. Jerome, you can start with this one.
Oh, you know what? There were bits in the first half. I thought he was getting brushed off the ball quite a lot, Odegaard. But you know, when he's got the ball at his feet, and he's got a little bit of time, he's excellent and picking up loads of different positions on the pitch, right, left, in the middle. Some lovely disguised passes. Yeah, mate. Not one of his best games, but he did play well. So I'll go for 8 for Odegaard. 7 or 8, but I'll give him an 8.
You're not allowed to give anyone a 7 today. Steve, what are you giving Odegaard?
Well, again, like Jerome says, is when he gets the ball, you feel safe. You know he's going to play the right pass. You know he's going to play the right ball, and you know whether he's playing as a number 8, which he did at times because he was dropping in and he was running back. So he was, even though he was playing in a different position from what he was last week, there were still times where he was picking up that number 8 position quite a bit. So he's very sort of versatile, and he can do a lot of things. And he probably done a lot of things off the ball that people didn't pick up. Like it wasn't nothing very flashy today. It was just a good, solid performance from Martin Odegaard. And again, I love this player. I think he's coming to his own as an Arsenal player. I think he's fitting in now because he knows where he's going to be for the next whatever how many years. Today, I think it was just a good, honest performance, showing that he can play in a number of different positions, and I loved that.
Yeah.
For me, he wasn't a Partey, he wasn't a Xhaka, and he wasn't a tier. He wasn't up that high. So I've got to give him a 7, even though I don't want to give him a 7. But I feel that he wasn't as good as Partey and Xhaka. I think he was just a little bit underneath that. So if I was going to give him an 8, then I'm saying he was as good as Thomas Partey today. No, sorry, I gave Partey a 9, didn't I?
Yeah.
No, I just don't think he was good as what people we did an 8. So I'm going to give him 7.
All right, cool. I'm going to even it up a bit and give him an 8. For me, a bit like Ben White, I think that Martin Odegaard will be a player that's sort of understated sometimes. And I think he's also a player that you'd enjoy more if he was at the ground as well. Not that I was there today, but he does a job like Aaron Ramsey did, and we've not had someone in our midfield that's done that since Aaron Ramsey's left. He grabs the ball from anywhere. He's happy. He's comfortable to move around the pitch with it. He'll take it from anyone. He's always available. He's always available. And when you've got a player that's always available, it makes it so much easier for the team. As Steve said there, he's always going to make the right pass. And sometimes you think, oh, is he held on to it too long? No, it's not held on to it too long because he's figuring out where's the next gap. Where's the next player I'm going to get that to? And he gets it to him. I love this player. James Madder, forget him. We've got Martin Odegaard, and I'm so glad that Arsenal went out and got Odegaard because
Arsenal. What do you mean? Arsenal's first priority? That James Madison.
Because He's like the glue. He's like the glue. So Martin Odegaard for me, although he was not as good as the other two midfielders, I still thought he had a good game today, and he gets an 8 for me. I'll come to you in a sec on that one. Little Chile, Bukayo Saka. Steve, go on.
Absolutely outstanding today, I thought. Scored one, made one, frightened the life out of the Tottenham going forward. He loves to run at players, he scares players. He's got that when he runs at players. Sometimes Pepe, when he runs at players, sometimes the ball will just fly off his foot, and he's got to chase after it. You notice when Saka's running with that ball, it doesn't move like a foot away from his feet. And he's so good at. I mean, he's always got two players around him. He had two players around him today. I thought he was excellent today. As I say, he scored the goal. He made the goal. I gave Saka today a 9. I thought he was that good. I really thought he was that good today. I thought he was
brilliant. Jerome, what are you giving Saka?
I'll give Saka an 8. He is so much better on the right than on the left. Like he should not play on the left. Don't play him on the left. Keep him on the right. With Saka, a lot of when he beats players, he's not the most tricky or skillful, but it's very effective. Yeah. Like he just needs a little yard of space. Then he has his space and he can either cross it or play the pass or shoot. He's not like a Ronaldo, all tricks and that sort of player, but he's very effective. And again, someone so young playing in such a big game, mate, it is quite scary, like how good some of these players can be if they like keep improving. Mm-hmm. But yeah, honestly, when Saka plays on the right, he's brilliant pretty much every game. I think anyway. And he had the left back on toast, didn't he? He looked like he could beat him whenever he wanted to. The left back didn't know what to do with him. Yeah, he can go outside, inside. Very, very. Yeah, I guess he could have been close to a 9, but I'll give him an 8.
And that's the thing with Saka, he can go outside as well. It's not like he's just got that left foot because he's got that right foot that he can cross in with. He's dangerous. I thought Saka was brilliant today. He was just non-stop. I actually agree with you with regards to the fact that he's not a flary player, but I did see him today add a couple of tricks which blew me away because that's not his game. And he dropped a little step over with a little shuffle. If he starts bringing that stuff into his game, honestly, I don't know what level this kid can go because when I first saw him, I was impressed with him. But I didn't understand where all the hype was coming from. He's very simple with his game. He's no frills. It's pace. It's great dribbling. And he keeps it simple. And he's very direct. But today, I saw a bit of flair, which just it leads me to think that he's got another dimension to his game, which he's not been really using because was less comfortable. But now he's just more settled. Yeah. I think Saka's got another level to his game, which I didn't think he had before. And I'm going to give him a 9 because
scary thing is he's so young,
very young.
That is scary. How good he can become.
Yep. Emil, Smith, De Bruyne, Jerome.
Yeah. So. As I said at the beginning, I think the second half he sort of tired quite a bit. He looked like he just couldn't move anymore. But the first half, excellent. I mean, we were saying, and there's been a lot of talk that Arsenal are going to need to get some more goals from midfield, and that run for the first goal is like that's like a Frank Lampard run, isn't it, into the box?
Perfect timing.
It's like, he didn't have to break stride. Very cool, calm finish. But he's just his all-round game. Like for me, the best Saka is at the same, or the best Smith Rowe is at the same level as the best Saka. Like I think when he's at the top of his game, he's different class.
Yeah.
And yeah, first half he was incredible. And it's hard to keep that level of intensity up for like 90 minutes. But yeah, quality play. He can. What I like about him is he's one of our players that he gets the ball. His first thought is, right, I go forward. It's not like, I'll just give it back. If he has to give it back, he's got nothing on, he will. But he's very very progressive and forward thinking in his play. Yeah, it's really enjoyable watching him as well. So, have I said anything? Have I given a number yet?
You've not given a number yet. Well,
I'll give an 8 again. But if it's just the first half, he gets a 9.
All right, cool. Steve, what are you giving Smith Rowe?
I'm giving Smith Rowe a 9.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Sorry, Steve. How you've given Smith Rowe an 8 after that speech, after an assist and a goal?
Yeah, I know.
What level?
I'll tell you why. It's because Tomiyasu just stole the show for me, so that's why.
All right. Sorry. Continue.
Right. All right. Yes. Okay. 9. I give Smith Rowe a 9. Fantastic run for the goal, and what have we been speaking about over the last few weeks on the podcast and on the show? Get in the box, please get in the box. You know, we need to get midfielders in the box. Today we was getting midfielders in the box for fun, and look what happened. Saka scored. Emil Smith Rowe scored. We was talking about, having that extra defensive player, and then Emil Smith Rowe and Odegaard could come to the fore, and Aubameyang, we could score more goals. Zach has come in, and what's happened? We've whacked him 3 today. So it's all like, we know what we're talking about in here, don't we? We know what we're doing. So, but going back to Emil Smith Rowe, brilliant today. Great run for the goal. Fantastic move. Great little finish. Not only that, second half, I thought his defense, when he wasn't going forward as much, he was defending well. We said in the preview that there was a good chance that we all sort of come round in the end that we think Emil Smith Rowe should play because Pepe's not as good as defending. It works out again exactly like that, because in the second half, where Tottenham were pushing forward, he started to defend. So for me, everything that you want in Smith Rowe's game was absolutely perfect for me today. Just keep making him runs in the box, keep scoring more goals, and as I said, he can defend as well. And every time he gets the ball, he's dangerous. He's running at players. I thought he was fantastic today. So I'm going to give Smith Rowe. I've done it. No, I'll give him a 9.
Yep. Smith Rowe. Yep, he gets a 9 for me. A goal and an assist. The assist for Aubameyang was not just any cutback; it was cutback precision. As Jerome said, the run into the box was timed to perfection. Couldn't have thought of a better person to sort of compare him to. The way he did that was with Frank Lampard, who's one of the best I've ever seen at doing that. And it's weird because I was speaking to one of my mates the other day. Like, we was having a 2-hour conversation, and most of the conversation was about how Smith Rowe needs to start having some end product with his. And this is not a dig. This is just about we're talking about the players that we like and we rate, that we want to see in a team. How they stay in the team. They got to score goals. They got to make assists. This kid could get 5 this season. He should be looking to get 5 goals, 5 assists minimum this season. Yeah, it was almost as if he was listening to the conversation, because Wednesday he scores, and today he scores and gets an assist, and he was absolutely brilliant today. I can see why Sky Sports gave him man of the match. I thought he was outstanding. I still think he's got so much more to give as well. I think physically he's got to progress, because I think he could shred down a bit and probably muscle up, and that will just come with time. He plays like the rogue kid at a five-a-side game who's playing against kids and he's a grown man. Like he plays like it's for fun. And when you've got players in your team or in any team that play like they're having fun, you enjoy it as well. It's infectious. And Smith Rowe he's a joy to behold to have in the Arsenal team. I think he's absolutely brilliant and he was excellent today. So well done, Smith Rowe. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Today, I've got to say he was a different Aubameyang today. Jerome, what do you say?
Yeah. I'll give him an 8. His goal, brilliant. He done the layoff, then he sprinted into the box, and you could see like the way he was running into the box, like he wanted it. And although he didn't strike it cleanly, there a lot of the time those shots go in, don't they? When you scuff them, hit it into the ground. But that was a proper centre forwards goal. That was lay it off, run into the box. His chasing down was brilliant, putting defenders under pressure. Him and Odegaard, I should have mentioned that for Odegaard as well. He's just constantly sprinting at defenders, isn't he? And they'll nick balls during the season doing that. Not all the time, but it will happen. He seemed to win a lot in the air, Aubameyang, today. Like he's jumping for headers. He doesn't normally do that, and I think that's a good sign because even if the header doesn't go anywhere, to win a header against a centre back, you've got to sort of want it, haven't you? You've got to make the effort to leap.
That's the first bit. That's the first bit, wanting it.
So I think that's a good sign, and hopefully, he's had a bit of a bad time of things at Aubameyang, and hopefully this will give him a lot of confidence. This goal in particular, and he was as close to the old Aubameyang as he's been in a long time. But yeah. Very, very well played, Pierre.
what rating you giving? I think you gave it a start. Was it 8?
8, yeah.
Steve, what are you giving Aubameyang?
Oh yeah, much better, wasn't it? much better today. A little bit of the old Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang of old. Fantastic goal. Great working off the ball, like Jerome said. 1-2 into the box, burying it. It's what we've come to be used to over the last 3 years since he's come to the club. We said in the preview that we needed him to score that goal today in a big game because this could light the touch paper for him to go forward now and have a fantastic season and start whacking in them goals which we know he can score. But he was brilliant today. I've had a go at him in the past recently about he wasn't running into the channels and he didn't seem to want to be working too hard, but he did all that today. He was getting into the channels. He was working hard. He was working back. Excellent performance. Just we just want to see the same. Want to see the same next week and the week after and the week after because this is the guy we're hanging our hat on to score our goals every week. Mm-hmm. So, but today I'm going to give Pierre an 8.
Yeah, I agree with an 8. I think 8's a fair score. I thought. It's just starting. It feels like it's ringing true with regards to when people said that Aubameyang when he plays in front of a crowd is a different Aubameyang, and it does seem that way very much so. You don't really see Aubameyang battling for headers, but I think it was also that he played up to the North London derby as well, which is what you want from a captain, which is very important. Because he's setting the standard there. He's not going to look... No one's looking at Aubameyang and thinking, well, you ain't even chasing down players. You ain't doing that. Because you're getting Aubameyang going in for headers against centre-backs. And that's not usually what he does. I thought he was very good today, chasing down players. Very good goal. Yeah, well done, Aubameyang. Good game. Time for our subs. Get through these two quickly.
Yeah.
Lokonga.
I'll give the Congo 6.
All right, cool. Jerome?
Yeah, same. He just wasn't on long enough, really. What did he get? 15 minutes, maybe? I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah, and he got a yellow card, so ratings there.
Yeah, good foul. Good. Yeah, that was a good. What's the word? Tactical foul.
Yeah, it's a good tactical foul. Tavares.
Yeah, same. Let's give him a 6. Not much more to say. Didn't have no time to really do anything in the game, but North London derby, first game, but 6.
Maitland-Niles.
Yeah, same, I suppose.
And 6.
Yeah. 6.
All right. Mikel Arteta. Steve, you can go Mikel Arteta first.
10. 10 is one.
Go on, you can dig into that a little bit. He's
picked the right team. A lot of people were wondering whether he should play Xhaka or not. He plays Xhaka. He's just come back from COVID. He's just come back from suspension. Lokonga's playing well. We look pretty.
Yeah, Steve wanted to do a drop mic moment and just say Arteta 10.
There we go.
Bob, sorry about that. Didn't know what happened there. Sorry, boys. But yeah, carry on. Yeah, I'll give him a 10. We didn't know whether to play Xhaka. Lokonga's not done bad too recently, so he comes straight into the side. He put him back in, and it was the right choice. Mm-hmm. So yeah, great. And he's won a North London derby. So and he picked the right team. He was lucky that we didn't have no injuries. I mean, he had that going for him. But there was always he could have played Smith Rowe. He could have played Pepe. He played Smith Rowe. He could have played the Congo. He played Xhaka. He played Xhaka. We've won 3-1 against Tottenham in the North London derby. 10.
There we go. Jerome, what are you giving Arteta?
I'll give him a 9. Brilliant celebrations as well. I thought look, you can't knock a manager after what's happened. I thought the only thing I will say is he could have made his subs a bit earlier, because I thought a couple of the players looked knackered and I would have brought them off earlier. I just don't think he really wanted to change it, and I don't think he really knew what he would have, what to do differently. Normally it's obvious when you make a change, because you might be trying to nick a goal, like trying to get back into the game, so you just bring on maybe a forward player for a midfielder or something. But when the scoreline is as it was, it's sometimes a bit tricky to know what to do, whether to make it even more defensive. Then you invite them on even more. But no, you can't knock Arteta. So yeah, 9.
Yeah, he gets a 10. Because that's the overall score of the team. A 10. North London derby. Mikel Arteta for me gets a 10 just for his celebrations. The passion that he was showing on all 3 of them goals. It shows that I feel like something's moving forward. I'm not going to say we've turned the corner, because we've still got a lot to do. We've still got to be able to do this with a team with a couple of changes, with not his best team. But today is about today. Mikel Arteta was brilliant. He picked a team. Like as Steve said, he could have picked Lokonga. I think it would have been easier to pick Lokonga for me, because he's been on form. He's been playing all right since he's come in. So it would have no reason to drop him. But he's brought in Granit Xhaka back in. Many people would have disagreed with the fact that he did that, but he's been proved right in doing so. Mikel Arteta, just for them to celebrate. I am going to watch Match of the Day tonight with so much joy. It's unbelievable. I am going to re-watch that game again as well. I am going to re-watch that game, and it will feel like I haven't watched it before. But the best thing about re-watching these games again, you're not feeling sick throughout it.
Yeah,
I will still celebrate, but I won't feel sick, and that's the joy I'm going to have from watching this game again. Man the match, Steve. Who's your man the match?
Oh God, this is tough. This is really tough. For me, it's out of 4 people. And it could be anyone out of these 4. I could put them in a hat. But just to please my person who DM'd me today, right, you donut, right? Thomas Partey, for me, owned that midfield today, and I feel if he didn't own that midfield, it's the most important part of the pitch. I thought he was fantastic. I think it was his best game for Arsenal that I've seen him play. So for me, the fact that he's also against Tottenham, I'm going to give Thomas Partey the man of the match. But it could have been, obviously, it could have been a few others. It could have been Tomiyasu. It could have been Gabriel. It could have been Saka. But for me, it's Thomas Partey.
All right. Jerome.
I don't. Yeah.
Who have you given your man of the match to?
I like Partey so much that I don't want to take anything away from him, but I'm going to give it to Super Tom, Super Tom, Super Tom. Yeah,
I'm so glad you have, actually. I'm really glad, because I was like, that close. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think we'll be seeing Cedric in a league game for a while.
No, it won't be. It won't be.
No.
Both great shouts. Tomiyasu, Gabriel, Partey, Smith Rowe, Sky Sports. My man, the match is Arsenal. North London is red. 10 out of 10.
I'll take that.
No imitations accepted. Yeah, the London's red. Tottenham is red. I know you're hurting, but I'm just so happy right now because we needed it more. There's been a lot. This club needs to settle right now. Mikel Arteta needs to find that style that people are saying is missing, and potentially we could have found it today. Hopefully we can carry on what we're doing going forward. But for me, 10 out of 10 for every player, no matter what rating we gave it, because we won the North London derby. Brilliant day, brilliant ending. Thank you very much, everyone who joined us tonight. Happy birthday, Dad. Great birthday present there. Yeah. Glenn Cook, you're my man in the match. Don't worry about that, kid. Couple of new names in there. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. Please hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed to the channel. We've got so much great content coming up. We've got the guest list that is coming up is fire. I'm blown away by it myself, honestly. No lie. I'm blown away by some of the names that keep coming up. And they're going to be a joy for us as well as you lot. Trust me on that. Thank you very much for everyone who joined us tonight. Appreciate it. It was a great pod. Enjoyed it very much. And it's not just because we won. But I'd say it was 90% of the reason why it was great.
I was going to say, really.
But yeah, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for joining us tonight, Steve.
You're welcome, Kieran. Absolute pleasure tonight. And Tottenham fans, make sure your WhatsApp's on.
Thank you very much for joining us tonight, Jerome.
Pleasure. I'm going to send all my Spurs friends just a picture of Steve.
Just a picture of Steve. No message. No captions, no words. Just Steve.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Thank you for joining us tonight, everyone. Thank you for joining us, guys. Match of the day. Make sure it's an extended highlights of the Arsenal game tonight, because I will not be happy if it's any less than 15, 20 minutes. Like, I'm deadly serious. I'm fuming if it's any one of them little short games. I ain't got no time for that. All right, Gary, don't start messing around because it's Tottenham. All right. Just let us have this one tonight. And Ian, you best absolutely milk it tonight. Milk it. All right. Peace out, people. Stay safe and wash your hands. Come on, Arsenal!